We're rolling.
Okay, well, I think this trip has been wonderful, and I've learned a lot of things. And if I were to narrow it down to one significant thing, that would be a little difficult, and frankly, I think it would be a little unfair. Unfair in the sense that this land has had a lot to teach me and to offer, and I think I walk away with three very significant things. The first of which is sacrifice. Sacrifice, which I learned in a very poignant way. Just looking at Mandela's story, looking at all the kids who lost their lives to achieve something, and it reminded me of a quote that I saw in Steve Biko's memorial site, which says there's no struggle without casualties. Because oftentimes he could have decided to live a peaceful life away from the whole struggle. When he got released, he could have gone over to the United Kingdom or the United States, and any country would have opened up its arms to take him and to shelter him and to treat him like the icon that he already was at the time. But he realized that the change that he wanted, he could not be a spectator to it, and that he had to be at the forefront, leading by example, and to teach the world and the average person in South Africa that whatever thing we want to do, we must be ready to fold up our sleeves and play our own part. And he started that earlier on, with his struggle through the ANC all the way to going to jail and spending a significant portion of his life over there. Most of us, if we were asked just to give up a little thing that makes us comfortable, or just sacrifice a little piece of our comfort, it would be very difficult for the average person. But this is someone who decided to give up a very significant portion of his life because he believed in something greater than himself, and he believed that by playing his own part, he could shape a new future, a new destiny for South Africa. And that's why today we could enjoy all these things, eat the food, visit the historic sites. And so I think the notion of sacrifice is a very big principle that I've learned. Another thing that really stood out to me is resilience. When I visited the Shanks and the townships and was just able to see the hardship that the people were going through, I didn't pity them, neither did I see unhappiness in their eyes. Rather, I saw resilience. I saw the power of the human spirit to be tested, but to still rise above the challenges and to achieve something substantial. And the particular example that comes to mind is the flower guy. You know, someone who took something as simple as a can of pop and made a flower from it and started a whole business, and even has a book that people could see, people could sell, people could share in the memories. In my mind, that's the epitome of entrepreneurship. If anybody ever doubted that they could succeed within tough times, they just need to come back to this place and see how this man was able to make something out of nothing. So I was able to admire the resilience and the human spirit that I saw here in South Africa, and in a way it has really strengthened me to constantly challenge myself. These people haven't had the exposure, or should I say as much of the exposure as we have had, you know, to travel the world, see different places, experience different things. But with the unique conditions that they have, they've been able to really shape a future for themselves. So I'm confident that no matter what challenge we face, as long as we believe and never lose hope, we could always carve a new path for ourselves and for the world to follow. I think the last and most important lesson that I've learned in the course of all of these is asking myself in a real deep and passionate way, what is my role? Because it's very easy, I think, in my mind, to come and see all these things, to admire them, appreciate them, and to go back to the United States and still be in the comfort of my apartment or my job and just enjoy the whole thing and let that be a fleeting memory that was just a snapshot of a certain point. But I'm encouraged in a significant way to really think about the ideals that I've learned, and that I profess as to be my personal ideals, and to really ask myself how I'm measuring up, how I'm living up to them, how my actions are making myself better, or making the world better, or trickling down in a chain reaction in a way that will impact the average person here in South Africa and make their lives better. Because I'm a firm believer in interconnectedness, that if the rainbow was only blue, it wouldn't be as beautiful as it is. If the keys on the piano were only black, maybe it won't play the songs as nice as it does. But God in His wisdom gave us this wonderful diversity so that we could leverage it and make the most of it. So today, I am really thankful for this experience. I'm thankful for the opportunity to have connected with other people who may look different from me, or who may speak a different language from mine, but who share a lot of things in common with me. And those are love, respect, the desire to succeed, the desire to feel important, the desire to have opportunity, and the desire to cater to their own families, cater to their kids, and watch them go to a brilliant future. So if I was ever in any doubt that I have a part in this whole mess, I no longer am in that state, and I'm convinced that at a certain stage I would love to significantly play my own part in Dr. King's words, to tilt the arc of the universe furthermore towards justice.